care a single bit about what anyone else says or thinks. The McDonald's hotcakes. The breakfast of champions. Today we race at 61 Kartways for our first away race and our second stop in the Ignite Challenge. The lap starts going downhill into a long sweeping left and then back uphill into a little right-left chicane and then a right-hand hairpin that takes us down into the main hairpin, which is a pretty straightforward left but is a great passing opportunity, and then into the roller coaster section of the track, which is a sharp left uphill into a carousel and then back downhill again. The cart gets super light and is super sketchy, and then back uphill again to where the lap started. And if that isn't challenging enough for you, then Mother Nature decided to throw an extra curveball at us today. Hello and welcome to a very soggy 61 Kartways. We are not at the Gateway Kartplex. This is round 3 and 4 of the Ignite Challenge series and our very first away race. So we are somewhere in the middle of Iowa. The cart made it somehow. We were able to fit it in the van by some miracle, so we drove that all the way here. And as you will notice, it is raining cats and dogs out here. Normally, that would stop our day. That would bring us to a screeching halt. But you will notice we brought these out. The challenge runs wet or dry, so we have wet tires on the cart. And in just a few minutes, we will be going out for our first ever session in our cart away from the Kartplex in the wet. So that'll be a huge undertaking, but I'm ready for it. I'm super pumped to see how it goes. I'm excited to race in the wet, see what that's like. Yeah, I'm excited. Still a couple things I have to do to the cart, but yeah, let's get going.
Drop the F-bomb. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so our 2 practice sessions are done. I have no idea where we were, but wow, that is fun. That is probably some of the most fun I've ever had racing this go-kart. If you ever get the chance to drive a go-kart in the rain, take that opportunity. It is an absolute blast. And doing it on the wets is even more fun because you get just enough control to where you can kind of like add a little bit of like, a little bit of flick oversteer, and it's just so much fun. It felt like I was carving through pretty much everyone. So I think we were pretty fast. Put a setup on the cart based on what other people told me was a good place to start. And I didn't change it going into the second practice. And just spent some time learning the track, learning how to drive in the rain. And seems like it's going pretty well. And I'm having a ton of fun. Don't know how long this rain is going to last. It may clear up by the time the races come around, but it's definitely going to be a wet qualifying. But I feel like, based on what we've learned, that we should have a good amount of speed. Again, I have no idea where we were in practice, so I'm kind of going in blind. but everything feels great. Since I have some time and I'm probably not going to get any B-roll today, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like from the outside, racing in the rain, and just what this track looks like, because it probably doesn't show on camera. There's so much elevation change. It is such an amazing track. I mean, look at that over there. That's where the start-finish line is, and just like right there, that's probably like a 30-foot elevation change coming down into there, and then it's like all this around there, and then it goes all the way down there, and then there's a massive drop-off. This reminds me a lot of Newcastle when I used to drive this in rental carts, but it's an amazing track. I'm having a ton of fun with it so far, and it seems like it can carry a lot of speed for it. Let's watch these guys over here. Here we got some people coming in. Dips down over there. You can see just how much spray is coming off the back of these carts, and just how much people are having to like soften the throttle in the corners. It is very wet out there, and they're like, I was talking to Tommy Sherrick after the race. He came down one of the crests, and there was like a puddle like in the middle of the apex of the track, like splashed in the face with water. So it's wet out here, but I'm having a lot of fun out here, and it seems like everyone else is still able to enjoy themselves. So I think it's fun all around. So yeah, we have to put a little cover over the air filter to make sure it doesn't get wet, because if it gets wet, it doesn't run. So we got the little yogurt cup, and then we also got the wet tires. Something I didn't know about the wet tires is that the rear tires on the wets are actually a little bit narrower than the dry tires. In fact, let me show you real quick. So here are the dries. There's a little bit of a difference. So the slicks are a little bit wider than the wets are in the rear. It's the same up front. Not sure why that is, but either way, the kart feels great. It handles amazing in the wet. Well, you know what they say, rain is the great equalizer. So let's go on into qualifying, see if we can put it up in the front. There are both pros and cons to using a minivan such as this to transport your kart to and from a race. First things, if you try to put a go-kart in it, it suddenly turns into something the size of a tic-tac. And so space is not really on our side. But once you get everything out and you're during the day, the place you get to spend your time looks like this. Oh yeah. Just sitting here, relax, and do nothing for like not even 20 minutes. Okay, qualifying is done and I'm back to my regular camera. We qualified in 10th out of 21 karts in senior, so all right. I felt like I had a little bit more speed than I did. The track was a lot more wet than it was in practice too, so I lost a little bit of time. Weirdly enough, the leader actually gained time, so I don't know how that happened. But we were 7th in practice too, and we fell down to 10th. So definitely feel like I could have done a little bit better, but I feel like we're doing pretty well, given this is our first day racing away from the Kartplex. At the end of the day, this is just a learning experience. I'm not at all an expert with running an Ignite kart in the rain or really anywhere outside the Kartplex, and I definitely don't know how to set these up. So given the circumstances, I'd say we're doing a pretty good job. But we're going to be rolling off right in the middle of the pack for the feature race, and hopefully we can do some work our way up, and hopefully get up in the top 5 and keep this championship hunt moving. So let's see what we can do. Okay, and our first of 2 races of the day is done, and our first ever race at 61 Kartways, and it was an amazing race. We drove all the way up from 10th to 4th, a 6 position gain, and it was just a brilliant race. Had an absolute blast out there. The track was starting to come in, so I could really push the kart, and that track is just so much fun, even more fun in the dry. Obviously, as the track got drier, I got a lot faster, and I was passing people. Obviously there was some sort of incident in that like left or right-hander back there after the straightaway, where I picked up a lot of positions, and then eventually I got past Riley Scott too. So we finished 4th, and because of our fastest lap time, which also massively improved, we're going to be starting 3rd for the second feature race. So we have a chance for a podium or a win. We just got to get a couple more positions, and then maybe we can be on the top step of the podium today for the very first time at a track that's not even our home track. So, and one more noteworthy thing, the slicks are going back on. It is officially a dry track now. So we are putting the slicks back on, probably gonna have to pump them way up on pressures just because of how slick it's gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna work on that real quick. Then we're gonna get out there for our second race, and hopefully we can get up there, get a podium or a win. Let's get into it. That is going to conclude our visit to 61 Kartways in the Ignite Challenge series, and in our 4th race of the season, we finished 4th. So 2 4th place finishes at 61 at a track that I've never raced at. Hey, here's my other slick tires. Most importantly, we learned a lot today. So obviously, first time running in the wet ever. So that was a whole new experience for me and a whole new track for me. I've never raced this kart outside of the Kartplex, so getting a feel for how one of these handles at a track like this, both in the wet and in the dry, that is a huge thing that I was able to kind of work on today. So I'm glad we got that experience. I'm a little bit bummed that we couldn't quite get to the podium in that last race. I started 3rd. I was able to maintain position after for the first few laps, but the leaders just ran away and hid from everyone, and the guy behind me was way faster than me, and I mean, I gave it my best effort to defend my position, but in the end it wasn't enough, so we settled for 4th place. Just short of a podium, but I know that we have the potential to get a podium, and our next stop on the Ignite Challenge schedule is going to be our future home track at Concept Haulers Motor Speedway. So I'm looking forward to that, but before we go to Concept, we have to go to the Quincy Grand Prix, the big one, our biggest race of the year, probably the biggest race of my whole career. It's basically at the Indy 500 of karting. That is super exciting, but all in all, a great day, a great first ever away race with the Ignite Kart. and we are in a good position in the Ignite Challenge series. So, I'll see you guys next time. So. There's a Chinook in the middle of nowhere. What is this? There's an actual Chinook here somewhere in Illinois. What the heck?